Everybody, we are at 1,279. Wow, let me get a drink. 1,279 days. Thank you so much. And I want to start off by saying that Richard is a confirmed Fort Bliss whistleblower that was whistleblowing on weapons smuggling, human trafficking, and narcotics trafficking. So I'll repeat that. Richard is he is a confirmed whistleblower, Fort Bliss, reporting on human trafficking, narcotics trafficking, and weapons smuggling, and more, and more. But those are big. Um, Lalani Hart is a convicted criminal. I repeat, Lalani Hart is a convicted criminal. Um, yeah, so she seems to be trying to break the record for being a convicted criminal. And Bill Hicks, Bill Hicks, the real Bill Hicks, is, well, let's just say that he has been accused of playing politics, and so his job of identifying crimes is not what he's doing. He's playing politics with the Walmart case, and the Walmart case is Richard's case. The Walmart case, the Walmart mass shooting of August 3rd, which is Dallas Hart's birthday, is Richard's case. This mass shooting, um, and I tell you, you have to take a red pill, blue pill, right? Do you want the blue pill that might make you feel comfortable if you're in a false narrative, or do you want to take the red pill and get the truth? That's what we're facing, and the red pill is not always easy to deal with. That especially when it comes to the Walmart mass shooting, because so many people died. Why? Why did they die? And why were they injured? And what really happened? And why is DA Bill Hicks playing politics with the Walmart case? Was the Walmart case always politics? Was it always politics for lining people's pockets while at the expense of other people's lives? This is the red pill, blue pill. Which way are we going to go when we uh, have a true investigation of what's going on? So it's been a busy day, but I wanted to tell you that Lalani Hart is a convicted criminal, that Richard is a confirmed Fort Bliss whistleblower reporting on weapons smuggling, uh, narcotics trafficking, and human trafficking. So let's see if I'm on. And I probably need to make some kind of music thing at the beginning that says that. Because we need the politics. We need all of you to share. And I know that we need to make smaller, shorter, um, little videos and flyers, digital flyers, and things like that for people to share. Because this is our campaign right now, is for everyone to share because of all of this information that has come in. And today, more information from the Office of the Governor, more information from Ken Paxton's Attorney General office. All the information is coming in. Why is it taken to 3 years for all of the institutional support that we're getting right now? Major institutional support where we can confirm that Richard is a whistleblower, that we can confirm that Lalani Hart is a convicted criminal. We can confirm that Bill Hicks has a lot of problems. A lot of problems. We need to know the real Bill Hicks. And and this is very, very important because DAs are being messed with. They're being messed with, meaning wrong people are being put into those positions. People that are not eligible for those positions, but because of their connections, they're being put because of their other kind of loyalties. They're being put into those positions, and that's a very, very important position. What does a district attorney do? They're the ones that identify the crime. They identify the crime and the criminals, and they document it, and they prosecute the crime. They prosecute the criminals. We've got to prosecute the criminals. That means accountability. And we want accountability in Richard's case. That's why the DA matters so much, because we want accountability. And the DA absolutely has power in El Paso over Fort Bliss. And Fort Bliss, needs that oversight because our 44 four-star generals and admirals have betrayed us. They, sorry. They absolutely, I know. It chokes us up to think about the betrayal, the level of what I'm talking about. So we've been um, so busy behind the scenes talking to so many people. So thank you for your patience. But Fort Bliss needs to have this oversight of Veronica Escobar. Where is she? Oversight of the DA's office. Oversight of the FBI. We know that FBI supervisory agent Nieto has so many conflicts of interest. Why? Why was he allowed to have that? And, so these are all investigations that it looks like he's being investigated because we didn't see him in that picture at that very, very important meeting that really shows us who's who. That happened the other, 2 days ago, where we have our federal agents, our Department of State, and our FBI working for Fort Bliss equipment delivery to the state officials of Chihuahua who are up to no good. We know that they're up to no good because our form that we filled out in Chihuahua, Mexico, and Juarez, Mexico, was tampered with. It was so tampered with that it smeared Richard, and anybody seeking those documents, any official seeking the documents on Richard Halliday's case, because we know that Richard's remains were found in Mexico. We know that the crime scene is binational. We know that Richard's case is international. And anybody seeking those papers in Mexico, in the Chihuahua State official's office on Richard Halliday, received a tampered with statement from Rob, Richard's own father. They tampered with the statement that's signed by Rob. That is a false statement, and we need to get that corrected because any official that looks up Richard will get a false report of Richard. That means that what they did with the guard mount on Fort Bliss to the military police, giving them a false report, character report of Richard, so that no MP would want to really care about finding Richard. That's what they did in Chihuahua, Mexico. And those officials absolutely need to correct that report. And it's so sad. It makes you angry, but it's so sad because that means that they do not care about the people. They do not care about justice. They do not care about the crimes. And that means that more children are going to be trafficked, more women are going to be trafficked, more pornography, more fentanyl, more violent crimes of rape and murder, more weapons trafficking. These people that want false reports, that are working against justice, are working against the land and the people. Because when the people are worked against and the land is worked against, then it's everything, right? Even animals suffer. The nature itself suffers, and of course the people suffer. And so it really is. It's so sad when you think about what they're doing. So what is happening in and I see everyone. Thank you, Anicia, for coming on. Thank you, Grace, for coming on. Um, so that picture, I think we're going to try to make a meme out of it with the state officials. There's a lot wrong with that picture, and I should try to put it up. Let's see if I can put it up because I think it's very, very important for people to understand why that picture, let's see if I can find it, is so important. Do I even have it? I don't know if I have it right on hand. Let's see if I have it here on hand. I do. I do, y'all. Let's see. I think this is really important for the people to understand this picture. Put it in Find Richard Halliday. And I can turn it on. We have really good news. Yeah, so let me turn this on now so we can see this picture. Yeah, so this is the picture that I'm talking about. This is small, but this right here is the American side, FBI. This right here, we believe, is Council Cohen, Department of State. This is FBI. We don't see Supervisory Nieto in this picture. Maybe he's back here. I don't know. I'm hoping that they've removed him. He has so many conflicts of interest. It is clear that he was out to hurt the community, um, not to help it, not to identify the criminals and stop the criminals. He has a conflict of interest with Nadal Baim. He has a conflict of interest with the Bugado family. He has a conflict of interest with Leilani Hart. He did not arrest Leilani Hart. She's a convicted criminal. She needs to be arrested. She is under investigation, just like Bob Moore of El Paso Matters. We have put in IRS complaints. Of course, the retaliation is still there. Of course, they, are not happy that we put in the IRS complaints, that they are acting politically, that Bob Moore is acting politically, which is a violation of his 501c3. But you know what? He has engaged in, I'm telling you, it's bad. It's so bad. And in our case, um, he has absolutely tampered with a key witness, which has obstructed justice in our son's case. And our son is a human being. Okay? It's not like he's an old shoe or something that you can just say, oh, well, we threw him out and you just have to live with it. You just have to, go on with your life. This is our son, and he is a confirmed whistleblower, documented whistleblower. Starting, it was early on, for sure, starting in September 2019. He is confirmed. We are going to explain that more in the next few days, how he is a confirmed whistleblower of narcotics trafficking, of human trafficking, of weapons smuggling, of a lot of wrongdoing on Fort Bliss with the CPS. The last few days, we've been flooded with evidence, with our open records requests finally coming in after 3 years of begging for, proof for, well, I shouldn't say proof, but for records that we can go through, that we can see um, what was happening, get a picture of what was happening. At the same time, our privacy rights have been violated. They have weaponized even our FOIA. They have weaponized our privacy rights and also our FRCA rights, which means that we have the right to first go through the records, any records that would be made public, to correct them, to have them, protected as far as some areas being redacted for privacy rights. They did not do that. And they absolutely have engaged in defamation, absolutely lies. And that is all, so all of this is happening behind the scenes. They're dirty. And when you fight against them, of course, they are dirty. And you just, for DA Bill Hicks not to protect us, not to, and the General Eisenhower, it's like, is he a statue? Is he, what is he? It's like, um, they get paid all this money and they just engage politically and do not do their duty. They absolutely betray the people, the land, and the people because they're supposed to be protecting the Constitution. And I just don't even know if they understand what they're doing. I'm sure they do. But it is hard for us to understand the level of betrayal here. And this picture really shows a level of betrayal because on the left hand side are the state Chihuahua um, officials, and the right hand side are federal officials. I wonder how the the federal Mexican officials felt when they weren't at that table with their counterparts. Those are federal FBI and Department of State. The counterparts should be the federal government of Mexico, not Chihuahua State. Now, if that was people in the administration of Governor Abbott, across the table from the Chihuahua State representatives or officials, that would be a whole different story. And then what they're doing is and there's more to this. There's more to this because anyone that knows these people understand what's going on. And they are giving American equipment over to those officials. Nobody in America needs equipment, safety equipment. I don't buy that. And that's American taxpayers' equipment. It should go to the Americans first and foremost. You know, I just, it baffles me. And it just shows the level of betrayal over and over again. And so instead of waiting, because we can't wait until there's good people, right? We have to come together and we have to demand that justice is served. And we have to be a nation of the people, for the people, and by the people. Okay, that's what we have to be. Not by these, those that have betrayed us. And, we already wrote Counsel Cohen and asked him, did you talk to these Chihuahuan state officials and ask about Richard's remains? Did it come up in that conversation about correcting the record that has been tampered with, that has obstructed justice in our son's case? Have you talked to them about the research of kilometer 29? Have you done that? Because we're talking about the remains, the murder of a U.S. Army Fort Bliss whistleblower. Whistleblower. So we would like to know that. And why is it that Leilani Hart gets the protection? Well, not anymore. I don't think anymore, because we did get confirmation that she's under investigation right now. And we also received confirmation that Bob Moore is under investigation from the IRS. And that's interesting, because that's El Paso Matters. And I remember when Angela Kachurga called, and she was not concerned about Richard at all, about the story of Richard. And, to find out that Richard's case is the August 3rd, 2019 Walmart mass shooting case, that they are so intertwined. You would think that Angela Kachurga would want to ask a few questions about that, since she's an investigative journalist. And since Richard's case is international and crosses the border, where partial remains are in Mexico and partial remains are in the United States, you would think that she would want to ask questions about that. You would also think that since the crime scene is binational, that would also be a story. So, and that also, that it involves human trafficking with the border issue, the fentanyl issue, the weapon smuggling issue, that she would be concerned about Richard's case. But she was not. She was not. She was concerned about the key witness in the case. That's what she was concerned about. And what that told us is we better start praying for this key witness, because this key witness must have a lot of knowledge to alter the whole political structure of El Paso, meaning to get accountability against these criminals. You should have seen the fear in her eyes. You should have seen the animated voice. She was afraid, and she was not too nice, even though, they always know how to cover it with a little bit of honey. But she didn't care about Richard. That was very, very clear. What she cared about was being exposed. And so if she cares about being exposed, what is she doing? What is she doing? Is she committing some crimes? Is she does she have conflicts of interest with the FBI Nieto? Uh, does she know then that he has conflicts of interest with Nadal Bayim, the FBI man that exposed, said it was a secret that the FBI found Richard's remains in Mexico? And is that all connected with El Paso Matters? And how is El Paso Matters connected with Richard's case through convicted criminal Leilani Hart and criminal Rosa Maria Valdez Garcia? Okay? Which is very hard to say. I have to say it, because she's very connected to the Walmart case. Her ex-husband is a victim of August 3rd, 2019. So, and this is all connected through 3905 Bliss Avenue. And for them to be connected to even the the chief medical officer, the medical examiner, who has the position that he can issue subpoenas and warrants like a judge. He's in the same category as a judge that makes way over $400,000 a year just from American taxpayers and is not even an American citizen. Now, that is really concerning. Really concerning. Um, yeah, so we're going to switch gears. Uh, for the first time in a long, long time, we did switch gears back when we developed this platform to reach out to many platforms at one time, and now we're going to switch again to really reach out to the public, because we have the evidence. The evidence is coming in. And one of the big reasons why we think the evidence is coming in, and that means all the institutional support that we have been getting, it's just amazing in the last like week, is because of the politics, because of what has done in Iowa, what Trump did tonight in New Hampshire. He won by over 10% in New Hampshire. He won by over 30% and by 30% in Iowa. Two states that were not guaranteed ever. They're not primarily like Republican states or whatever. Um, I know that Obama won Iowa, Clinton won Iowa. So to have this kind of lead, what is that telling you? Is it about Trump, or is it about the people of these United States being sick and tired of the weaponization of the Department of Justice and the FBI and all of our agencies, that our government has been weaponized? The whole J6 thing was so weaponized and unequal justice. I'm not saying that some troublemakers that day didn't need to get in trouble, but it was not an insurrection. And to call it an insurrection, and for Lindsey Graham to call us, because we were there, domestic terrorists, is absolutely unconscionable. Absolutely unconscionable, because you had to have been there. You had to have been there to understand. It was not an insurrection. Insurrection, you'd have to have weapons. Look, you're a million people. If it was an insurrection, um, it would have went down a much different way, because there were no security there, really next to no security. When we were leaving at like, I think it was like 3:30 in the afternoon, finally, as we were walking down from the mall area in Washington, D.C., we saw some police coming in. And so Nancy Pelosi dropped the ball. She did not, and maybe on purpose. I think it was on purpose. I don't know if it was on purpose. We have to ask Nancy Pelosi, but she was offered to have National Guard there. They did not have guards there. They didn't even have porta potties there. They didn't prepare for a million people. And it was very, very clear that they didn't. They only had about like 4 food trucks. They could have had it could have been just amazing, support for the people um, to just support the the election, right? To support the election process. Every election process. Vote. I used to vote before we moved here. I used to vote for years and years and years in Florida. I remember the whole hanging Chad thing, right? Um, we all can make sure, double check election results. That's okay to make sure, to check, to recount election results. We even, when we play bingo, we check again all the numbers on the bingo card to make sure the winner really won, right? We do that all the time. So for this to be called an insurrection is absolutely a false narrative that they are feeding the American people. And it's really election tampering. It is politics, playing politics, exactly what Bill Hicks is doing, playing politics with the Walmart mass shooting that happened on August 3rd, 2019. And if he's playing politics with the Walmart mass shooting, he's playing politics with Richard's case. And, that doesn't feel good when you want to know where your son is, who's been reported to be, dismembered and part of it laid or disseminated in Mexico, and to be bullied and to be lied and everything. When I threatened, when we looked at the Glendon Oakley, and I need to play that too. See if I have it here. I think I have it here. The Glendon Oakley. Did I put it here? I think it's really important to watch this. Glendon Oakley.
I was in a sports store named Fanatics. I was buying a jersey, and a little kid runs in there and says it's an active shooter.
Let's see.
I was in a sports store named Fanatics. I was buying a jersey, and a little kid runs in there and says it's an active shooter at Walmart. But me and the guy, we didn't pay no mind because he's just a little kid. So I walked out and I go to Foot Locker.
Again, I'm not too good at that.
And all I hear is ball, ball. So I got my license to carry, and I'm in the military. So all I think is get my gun and think fast. So they closed, Foot Locker closed the cage, but some people lifted it because I guess they were so scared they wanted to make it out. So I peeled out with them, and I just followed them, and I see a whole bunch of kids just running around without their parents. So I'm just thinking about the kids. So I pick up as many as possible and carry them with me, and another guy does it as well. And I'm sorry, I'm shaky up. I can't think, but I just peeled out. I just hope the kids make it safe, man, because it was a whole bunch of kids just running around without their parents, and I was worried about the kids more than myself.
You said you heard the shots, right?
Yeah, he did too.
Again, just tell us how this feels like.
Well, I'm in the military, so it probably feels different for me because, we're trained to, when you hear a gunshot, pull out your weapon and think fast. I'm just worried. I wasn't really worried about myself. I was worried about the kids. So I put my stuff out. I just picked up the kids and just carried them with me. Me and the other guy did. We made it to village. So I wasn't really worried about myself.
What ran through your mind when the first shots rang out? When you heard the first shot, what ran through your mind?
I'm in the military. I can't even tell you. It's a feeling that anybody in the military can tell you. It's a feeling that you can't explain. You know what I'm saying? Your heart just, all you think is pull out your weapon and think fast.
I'm curious, what were the kids doing? What were the kids' reactions when you were
running around crying? They were all just running around crying, just running around, just running. And all I could think about was kids. I think about it as if my child, if I have one, if my child was in the same predicament, what I would want somebody else to do. So I picked them up, and the other guy did as well. But it was so many kids that we couldn't pick them all up. You know what I'm saying? So I couldn't go back and do what it do. But I try my best to. Me and the other guy try our best to get as many out as possible. But that's all that was. I can't really do it.
Thank you so much for your time.
That was you.
I was in a sports.
Sir, could you just tell us you were just shopping yesterday?
This is less than 24 hours later.
You walked into a situation where you chose to get involved. So if you could briefly describe what was going on and
look
what
at
you
him.
decided
He
you got to do.
he has more stress
What specifically
right
do you want to
now.
know?
Less than 24
you were
hours
shopping,
later than he
and then
did
some little
the
kids ran
day
in,
when
right?
the
It was one
day
child
before
that
when
he
all the
ran in and
shooting
told
was
us it
taking
was an active
place.
shooter in Walmart. But I didn't pay any mind because, for one, he's just a child, and for two, you're inside the mall, so how would you know it's an active shooter? So me and the guy at the register, we didn't pay any mind.
And so then what happened?
I don't want to get too close in the detail because what I'm putting out there right now is already getting twisted up, and what I did is what I did.
Twisted up. Who's
and
twisting
I'm
it
not
up?
getting into too far into detail because
this is the thing. he's a whistleblower. He's a hero. He absolutely um, did his best. This young man, um, in the face of mall cops with M4s and hearing gunshots in the mall. Okay, he clearly says that some kid said, "Oh, there's an active shooter at Walmart," but he didn't pay him any mind. But when he went into the mall, he heard gunshots in the mall, and they were afraid. They put down the cage, and the people that were at the Foot Locker, and then they opened it. He got out. Um, he gives this great witness testimony. I have this experience of being in Killeen during the Luby's mass shooting. Okay, and it wasn't even as big as the Walmart mass shooting. And the Luby's, I mean, it was chaos. My sister worked at the hospital. I was taking care of the children. She had to work hours and hours because, you have to find a place for these people in need in the hospital. These people that were shot, injured, in shock. Because it's not just the people that were shot. It was people that are in shock, that are in a crisis mode, right? And so the hospitals are just, it is chaos, total chaos. And in that mess, you have a group of people that are twisting up a hero's words within hours. Within hours, it's like that means there's an organized group to control a narrative. That's what that means. And do we have corroborating evidence for that? Of course we do, because we have witness after witness that day saying that there were more than one shooter. Yet we have the El Paso police coming out at like about 1:43, 1:45 in the just a couple hours, few hours later, because it starts at around 10:39, right? 10:39, 11 o'clock. At 11:11, Patrick Crucius walks up to a Hispanic police officer, one that he's supposed to just really hate, right? He's really supposed to hate them, yet he walks up to a Hispanic police officer and surrenders himself with his hands up, saying, "Hey, being nice. Hey, it was me. I'm the shooter. I'm going to be really nice about all this," right? With not one bit of soda on him, no blood stains, clean shoes, nothing. And he just shot off about 1,000 bullets and, killed people, people he hated that were begging for their lives in the nothing fits right. Nothing fits. And then the El Paso police are saying this is a lone wolf shooter. A lone wolf. That day, just hours later, something stinks to high heaven here. That's not justice. That's not, calming everybody, collecting all the evidence, collecting all the forensics, talking with everybody and getting their witness testimony, looking at all the CCTV footage, helping all the people that are injured, helping all the people that are in shock, and that takes days. But in less than 24 hours, you have a group of people that are organized going after Glendon Oakley Jr. Watch this. Just watch
Some
this.
of the blogs are
He is
putting
under
words
so
in my mouth
much
that I never
stress.
said.
What
So
do you want to clarify?
I want to clarify that what I did was what I was supposed to do. I understand it was heroic, and I'm looked at as a hero for it, but that wasn't the reason for me. I'm just focused on the kids that I could not get and the families that were lost, because it hurts me. Like, I lost, like, they were part of me. I don't even know the people that died or the kids that I took with me, but
I just want the media to stop twisting my words up because some.
Yeah. See, he is not breaking up. This is a soldier, right? That the day before is so fearless that he's collecting the kids. He's trying to do the right thing. And between that time and this video, they are totally twisting him up. Now, you know why this matters to me, to Team 5 Richard Halliday? Because we've been put through it. They had a team ready with a narrative for Richard, that Richard was some kind of criminal, but he's not. He is not. He is a whistleblower. He's a Fort Bliss soldier whistleblower that they retaliated against. And when we came looking for him, they didn't like it. They wanted to continue that narrative. You wouldn't believe the narrative. It is just disgusting. And we have had to spend years debunking it, getting to the truth of it, and in that time being bullied, harassed, threatened. You wouldn't even believe it. You wouldn't believe it. Look at our first casualty assistance officer got caught participating in that. Okay? When I list off all the people getting caught participating in the harassment and the bullying and the lies and continuing this narrative, it is shocking. And to see the same MO prior to us, they've been doing the same thing to people after person after person after person. And to see them do it to this young man, Glendon Oakley Jr., is so disgusting. We have got to continue this. We have got to get together as people that love justice, and stop this MO, stop these bullies, because they are, I'm wondering, are they FBI informants? Who are they working? Because if they're FBI informants working in the El Paso Police Department under Supervisory Neto, he's up to no good. He's not working for the people. And were they the same ones? Because they can do these terrible crimes and get away with it. This whole FBI informant thing is so awful, because these are like people that are criminals, that have records, that they turn into informants, that they get immunity to continue to do crimes. That's their punishment, is that they get immunity to continue to do crimes. That's pretty bad system. That is a pretty bad system. And who in the world? I would like to know who was in charge of some kind of group that had to do maintain a narrative that it's a lone shooter. And sorry, Glendon Oakley Jr. didn't fit that narrative, and they went after him, harassing him, twisting him up less than 24 hours after, right away. That means it was organized. It was organized, like with the El Paso Police Department. And why is it that the DA is alleged to make politics out of the Walmart case also? And who is he alleged by? The very person he hired to take over the Walmart case, right? Attorney Loretta Lynn Hewitt. Not just nobody, but knows what's going on behind the scenes. And there's a lot that came through today that we have to go through that is very revealing on the situation with Bill Hicks. But I don't understand why Jaime Esparza, at this time, when he saw this video and he talked with Glendon Oakley and knew that Glendon Oakley was getting harassed as a whistleblower, did not do his job, because he is Attorney General now for the Western District of Texas. But he was the DA at that time. And he should have absolutely kicked in his whistleblowing protection uh, um, um, duties. Thank you. Duties to protect Glendon Oakley Jr. because he is absolutely in this video under threat, under stress. They're after him. And they needed to reassign him, put him somewhere away from El Paso to protect him, to get him away from the harassers, to support him. And they did not. They failed. They failed with Richard, and they failed with Glendon Oakley Jr. And the same, this same DA position under Bill Hicks is, Bill Hicks has just been a failure. Just been a failure. Because, and this is why we did the open record, because we haven't even been contacted by the DA. It's criminal. Millions and millions of dollars to fund a district attorney to protect whistleblowers, to identify crime and criminals and document it and prosecute it. And he's playing politics with a mass shooting case, which is Richard Halliday's case. And where is the cause of death for Glendon Oakley Jr.? Because he was found deceased in his barracks room on Fort Bliss in April of 2020, just months before Richard was murdered. And I just want
The things
you
that
to see
they're
this.
putting
Look
out
at
there is
this.
not what I said. Like, I'm more focused on the families that were lost. I want to.
See, he's even he's saying, look, it's not what I said. They're attacking what he said. What he said. They're not even focused on the families. He's like, why don't we focus on the families? Why don't we focus on those that died? I get so upset when I watch this. I'm going to have to turn it off, and I'll put this up. And please, just watch it, because, and share it. Share it. We have to put together some, to watch him in agony like that, less than 24 hours after he did something so heroic. And I'm going to tell you this. They gave him an Article 15 because he died a private. And I believe in this picture, he was an E4. So the same, we're going to give you an Article 15 and strip you from all your ranks, and make you the lowest, a target of even more harassment. And then, like they tried to set Richard up with this false 911 call that we suspect was Belen Rocha, and this false arrest that we suspect, with, we know it was Jesus Melendez, what is his connection with Belen Rocha, right? A K-9 cop. And then you have Judge Alma Trejo looking at this setup of Richard going, this is thank God for Judge Trejo, because that was thrown out. But do you think that the CID would correct the record? And that we knew that it was in July 9th, that it was dismissed, and they had to wait months way after. Richard got word before he was murdered that all of that was dropped. And they told us over and over again, when we were there after he had been murdered, that we take underage drinking seriously. Oh, yeah, right. When you can use it to give a soldier that is a whistleblower a field grade Article 15 to retaliate against him, strip him of all of his rank, to make him an object of harassment and bullying, and then you wipe it clean off of his record and promote him twice after he's been murdered or found dead in his barracks. I wonder if they gave Oakley back some rank. Oh, what is that? Is that for you to tell God when you meet him at the pearly gates to say, well, well, we didn't mean to do that. We gave him back his rank. Is that what that's for? Does that make you feel better? I'll let God be the judge, because God's judgment is just, right? But I can't, because I just see Richard. Because in the last video we have of Richard is also brought to tears. Same thing. And I haven't published it, because it's the same thing. It's so heartbreaking. What? So that they can make money off of fentanyl? So that they can make money off of child porn, which is child torture? So they can make money off of, some kind of contract? That they can continue with their embezzlement? That they can continue with their weapon smuggling? That they can continue using us and abusing us and telling us lies through media and everything? Because lots of things don't add up with the Walmart mass shooting. Were people killed? Yes. Were people injured? Yes. That was what it was meant to do, is to psychologically do something to the community so that something else can be done. It meant a political objective. That's why they were doing it, in my opinion. Thank you, Mitzi, for coming on. Thank you so much. And I'm sorry I'm full of vim and vigor, but I just read through a lot of evidence coming from the office of the governor, Governor Abbott, on Bill Hicks. And, I'm going to let a night go by, to digest it, to really make sure what I'm going to say is right. But I can tell you this. Absolutely, Richard is a confirmed, documented whistleblower. And Leilani Hart is a major convicted criminal. And Bill Hicks was put in there. That was such a con job, because if Yvonne Rosales would just have done a little bit of what Bill Hicks, they would have been all over her. But she was an upset candidate. She won that position with over 200,000 votes. She's a Democrat. I'm not even a Democrat. But, she won fair and square. And what they did to her, when you look into it a little bit carefully, just a little bit, it is absolutely reveals that she fired John Briggs. 2 days later, they petitioned to have her removed. They tampered with an election when it comes to Yvonne Rosales. Absolutely. And El Paso Matters was part of it. And I think Justin Underwood, who is the attorney, just happens to be the attorney for Rosa Maria Valdez Garcia. So, up to no good. Absolutely up to no good. And as and has targeted Richard's case. Okay. So, yeah, thank you so much, everybody. It's trying to keep these just a little bit shorter because of the other, uh, uh, trying to get some digital flyers made, trying to reach out um, to let people know what's going on because we need the politics, we need the people, we need the action of the people, we need the shares, we need viral posts. We need viral posts um, in order not to, in order to move the officials to do the right thing. That's why we need it. Remember Sean Bernabe with Vanessa Guillen. Vanessa Guillen's viral support is what drove them to make changes and act. And so that is what we really need to do. And so please share. Please share on many different platforms. Please, yeah, let us know your ideas on how we can reach more people. Uh, and because that's the answer right now. We have enough hard evidence, enough irregularities, enough circumstantial evidence. We have enough. We have padded. We've spent the last, year and a half paperwork, padding every file from the office of the governor, the DA's office, the AG's office, the FBI, the Department of Justice, the Department of State, I mean, every FOIA you can imagine. We've just padded, contacted people, contacted representatives. So it's all there. They know about Richard's case. We've reached out to, so many. And now we need the politics. We need the people. We need to drive them to act on everything that we've done. And we just really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And we will be back tomorrow, God willing. Bye-bye.